7 main event champions have been crowned since Season 9 of the European Poker Tour began. This is the last destination, with one last trophy to be won. Day 2 continues at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. It all ends here. Monaco is the last stop on the European Poker Tour, and 531 players paid a visit to the French Riviera to conclude the season in style.
Bonjour.
The tranquil climate and luxurious lifestyle aren't the primary reasons to make the trip. It's the 5.3 million euro prize pool that's on everyone's mind, with more than 1.2 million euros up top for the winner. Last time, the always affable Kid Poker had more than a few words for his table mates.
Oh, I love to talk. I don't shut up. When have you seen me shut up? I just keep blah, 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 blah. See what that does. You make me pay now, because you know I never fold. It's fun. I love having fun.
Vicky Collin was KO'd by Tatiana Barosova, and fellow team pro Fatima de Melo also headed for the exit.
Good luck.
Artem Litvinov became impatient, waiting for mild-mannered David Van Ploeg to make a decision.
I'm not trying to waste time.
Welcome back inside the Salle des Etoiles. Just 2 more levels of poker to play today and a new feature table.
We've got a couple of players who have come this close to tasting EPT victory, and we've got one of the tournament bosses who's this close to being able to see over the table.
Freddie Deeb is anything but short on chips. He's our current Day 2 chip leader with more than 3 times the tournament average. Joining Freddie at the feature table is Igor Kurganov, who took down the high roller title at last year's grand final. He's looking for success this year in the main event.
Main event is such a grind that you have to stay on top of the game for a long period of time, which is tougher than it is in a high roller.
Jake Cody is the youngest ever Triple Crown winner, and the Season 6 Deauville champ is not afraid of the stiff competition.
By far the best stop on the top. Just the field's so strong with the best players are here. Sets up the grand final perfectly.
Time to get the evening session underway with 150 players returning from dinner.
EPT champ Jason Mercier saw the word red rum written in his hotel mirror, thought it was fashion advice. With 7 top 20 finishes, in the words of Nick Wellfall, Johnny Lawton is an absolute min crusher. Come on, Mosen. Act like you've been there before, because you have. You were last year's winner. Chillax, bro. You say this is how Europeans greet each other. I say, look where that hand is.
Filippo Candio joining Jake Cody at our secondary feature table.
Yeah, let's see a greet Jake that way. Didn't think so.
Cody's had some good results recently, a deep run in the PCA main event. He won a tournament in London. Meanwhile, up on the main stage on our main feature table.
Dear Mom and Dad, the grand final is fun. How is Poochie? Love, Annette. Igor did not know there was going to be a written portion. Totally unprepared. And if Freddie Deeb runs out of paper, he can just take some from the phone book he's sitting on.
In addition to that result in Season 5, Annette was a runner-up on the European Poker Tour in Season 4. And she's not the only player at this feature table with a second-place finish on the EPT. In seat number 9 is Andrew Chen, the runner-up in Berlin last season. We've also got tournament beast Ola Schemion in seat 1.
And don't forget Arlo Dotson. Dotson, we got Dotson here. What movie?
Jurassic Park.
Back of the net.
Blinds 1,000, 2,000 with a 300 ante. Action folded around to Matthias Mulhausen. He passes. Igor Kurganov, King-Jack off.
Suspect he's going to open.
He does, with a raise to 4,000.
Oh my God, who is that?
That is Slade Fisher. He's folded, as have Gabriela Trento and Andrew Chen. Ola Schemion, queen 7 off on the button, and that is a re-raise, a 3-bet to 9,100.
Re-raising an early raise against a really good player with junk.
Kurganov calls.
There is some history between these two. Igor knocked Schemion out of the 25K in Australia, then went on to win.
Ace Jack 6 on the flop. Kurganov checks. Schemion, with absolutely no hand whatsoever, continues for 8,600.
And this is almost certainly getting called.
Kurganov with a second pair.
Only a third of the size of the pot, which is fine in a 3-bet pot.
He calls. A 7 on the turn. Schemion now has third pair.
A lot of folks are going to slow down now, but no, not Schemion. He's just going to continue bloating this pot like the gluttony scene in 7.
He bets 16,100. And once again, Kurganov calls.
If Kurganov were ahead on the flop, he'd very likely still be ahead now.
9 of hearts on the river, and Kurganov checks a third time.
This is a super wet river card. Is Schemion going to get weird here?
All in.
He shoves. He overbets the pot.
Straights came in, obviously the flush. This is a sick bluff, and it's his best shot at getting Kurganov to fold exactly the hand he's got, sometimes even better. Right now, it's Kurganov's tournament life over second pair.
Your all-in did a different sound than it did before.
Uh-oh.
Plus your hand was shaking. That's making it tougher. I don't know. Normally it's because you're so happy that you have it. It was a friendly smile to me. Ole, ole, ole. I call.
Great call.
Sick.
Both hands have to be shown, guys. You gotta show both hands.
It's an all-in situation. Both hands have to be tabled.
Einmal so nicht klarkommen wie ich.
Live reads are not a myth. I've seen it. That call was sicker than Denzel Washington's son and John Q.
A great start to the session for Igor Kurganov. Let's check on one of his friends, Tobias Reinkemeyer, on the outer tables, involved in a hand against Daniel Negreanu. It's gone to the river.
I'm gonna just check. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. Just check.
What would you want me to do?
I can't tell you that.
You told me before.
Depends what you have.
I can't tell you that.
Against the rules.
Check.
What, you got a king?
That's the aggressor.
I know, I'm gonna give him a break. I'm a friendly guy. See, you owe me one.
Friendly?
Yeah, well, not that friendly. Depends who you are.
Technically, Daniel didn't have to show first. Always the humanitarian.
I didn't want you to bet.
So Daniel wins that one as we head to the secondary feature table. Action folded to the blinds. Ginteras Samaitis just limps from the small. Filippo Candio raises from the big. And Samaitis calls.
Not a huge fan of the limp call with King 10. He should just be open raising.
All spades, the flush for Candio, the nut flush draw for Samaitis. He checks to the razor.
That's just fine at this point. Candio's never not betting here.
Counting out the continuation bet. 3,600.
Easy spot for a smooth call with the nut flush draw.
No, it's a raise to 11,000.
Unfortunately, he's repping absolutely nothing. Also, if you have a monster here, don't you think about it at least for like a second? I think Samaitis is pretty much playing his hand face up.
Candio eyeing Samaitis' stack.
What hand could Samaitis really have here that would limp call before the flop? Nothing that Candio's losing to, that's for sure.
Looks like Candio's re-raising. 22,600. An all-in from Samaitis, quickly called by Candio.
Candio looking to fade a spade. Otherwise, he's going to get stacked by a person of Ginteras.
Candio's 71% favorite. Make that 84%. Oh, a spade on the river.
That's gross.
Nice hand.
I was going to say losing a hand like that is the worst, but then I remembered famine.
Candio down to 19,100. Noah Schwartz is in action against Germany's Clemens Yanis.
Giannis 3-bet pre-flop, also bet on the flop.
And on the river, Schwartz shoves.
And even though Giannis was the original aggressor, calling these kinds of bets is really hard to do without the nuts.
He folds. Schwartz shows the ace of diamonds, adds 21,300 to his stack.
And when you fold to that, you're really hoping that other card was a jack. And if it's not a jack, Noah Schwarzenegger tells you to let off some steam.
All right, commando references, now we're talking. But with that hand, Noah Schwartz reclaims the tournament chip lead. He's playing 363,000, just ahead of Freddie Deeb and Calvin Anderson. 3 members of Team Pro are on the leaderboard. Gila Valbeck, Victor Randin, and rounding out the top 10, Johnny Lodden. Well, there's another member of Team Pro in action, Jake Cody, raising his button with Queen 8 offsuit.
Raising the big blind of the nearly unrecognizable, newly svelte Tom Marchese.
Marchese calls with ace 5.
Definitely ahead of Cody's button range.
Heads up to the flop. 9 tray deuce. Marchese checks. Jake continues for 5,000.
Standard C-bet. Tom's very likely to peel with what will sometimes be the best hand and also a gut shot draw.
Does call.
He's beating all unpaired paint.
Queen on the turn. Cody now in front.
Jake just hit the best card possible for him, and Tom might feel compelled to keep calling.
He's checked a second time. Cody will bet a second time. 10,200.
There's some serious dynamic going on here. I don't think either guy plays it the same against many other opponents.
Marchese calls. The river brings a king. Doesn't change anything. Marchese's checked a third time. And even though there's an overcard to his pair of queens, Cody is going for value.
Well-read situation by Jake.
30,200.
And I don't see how Tom can call now. Even a bunch of Jake's bluffs just got there.
So Jake Cody takes a decent chunk off Tom Marchese, who's made an EPT final table and has an NAPT title to his name.
Well played by Jake. Kept his foot on the gas like in the Fast and Furious. Only he's got more emotional range in that shot than an entire movie of Vin Diesel.
Back to the feature table. Slade Fisher's raised.
All in.
Ola Schemion shoves. Action folded back around to Slade.
Got here through a live satellite.
Stamen.
Yeah?
Stamen.
Yeah, obviously.
Like a little neck clam.
You want to call?
I don't mind a call.
Call.
Trust me, you didn't want him to call.
Nope, domination nation for Slade Fisher. He has a hard time playing by the rules.
Good call.
Dude, I know.
Schemion looking for a 10. Or spades. Well, there is a 10 on the flop.
Ew.
Fisher looking for a queen or a jack.
No queen of spades this time.
It is a jack on the river. And Schemion is out.
Good luck, guys.
Slade Fisher wins. Fatal. Don't ruin it by smiling.
Schemion not the only player hitting the rail. We've also lost Artem Litvinov.
Oh, that's a bummer. He's a fun one.
And we could be about to lose Filippo Candio. He is all in with King 10. Decision on Andreas Eiler.
I'm all in.
He reshoves from the small blind.
King. Ass.
Candio's live and he's suited. So he's not much worse off than a coin flip.
Eiler just needs his ace high to hold. No one connects with that flop. But the turn is an ace.
Candio dead to a queen.
It's a 9. Candio is kiboshed.
Polarizing guy, that Filippo Candio. I like him. What did you think? Hashtag at EPT Grand Final. Bye.
Seat open.
Welcome back to Monaco. We're in the Salle des Etoiles for the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. Let's rejoin the action at our feature table. Blinds are still 1,000, 2,000 with a 300 ante. Gabriel Otranto is under the gun.
What is Jon Snow doing in a sport coat? He should be in the armor of the Night's Watch. Come on.
Ace King suited. Otranto will raise to 4,100. Action folded around to Freddie Deeb. On one.
41.
Ace 10.
Some tighter players are going to fold this to an under-the-gun raise. Now, Freddie's been on the circuit forever, but his tightness tends to come and go.
He just calls. Igor Kurganov also has ace-king in the small blind.
Well, here comes another bet.
Kurganov re-raising to 14,600. Slade Fisher is out.
No offense to Otranto, but when I'm in a spot like this and I'm playing against one of the best in the world and I'm not one of the best in the world, I'm going to try to get more in now so I don't get outplayed.
He does. 4-betting to 27,000.
Small 4-bet.
Deeb folds.
Kurganov's probably not folding, and my guess is he's going to want to see all 5 cards.
I'm all in.
Go.
A shove and a call.
Same hand. Just wanna make it sweat.
90% chance they chop this.
2 flush draws. How many you got?
I got one.
It's not a good first card.
Just the one spade.
Spade's still alive.
Thank you for the money, though.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, that's not going to earn you any karma.
Spade number 2.
No.
I wanted to swear. I always want to swear.
Uh-oh.
Spade number 3.
Youch!
Right. Damn, and you only had 1 flush draw. It's insane.
I wasn't even thinking about it. You bring it on yourself.
Yeah, I agree. It's my mistake.
So Igor Kurganov loses in a situation where he should have tied and is now down to 89,800.
He's probably not sweating it. He won like 4 high rollers this morning.
We've got a battle of the big stacks here. Andrew Lichtenberger v. Calvin Anderson. Anderson's bet 53,000 and the clock has been called on Lichtenberger.
It is over. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The hand is dead.
And check this out. The masseuse is more concerned than Chewy. Aw.
Calvin Anderson adds nearly 40k to his stack.
Maybe he wanted a call, but either way, that pot is mint. Just like his glasses.
He's now up to 304,000.
If Jason Mercier is only playing open-faced Chinese poker on his unbranded tablet device, that must mean his unbranded smartphone is dead.
More out-of-table action. Steve O'Dwyer has raised Dario Sammartino on the flop. And Sammartino folds.
Somebody got Steve O'Dwyer's flag wrong.
Steve has an Irish passport and recently relocated to Ireland.
Wow. Aaron Go, cool story, brah.
And with that pot, Steve O'Dwyer is now up to 384,000 and is the new tournament chip leader. Schwartz, Deeb, and Anderson all still in the top 5, and Jason Mercier's crept into the top 10. Back at the feature table. Action on Andrew Pantling, who's just joined us, taking the seat vacated by Ola Schemion. He raises to 4,300. Freddie Deeb, King 7 on the button.
329k for Danny Deep Vito. That is a monster stack. And it looks like he wants to use that stack to pressure the other big stacks.
That is a huge 3-bet, a re-raise to 15,300.
And he is doing it with a not-so-good hand.
Pantling, who is the CEO of a sports book, calls, heads up to the flop. Neither player connects. Pantling checks.
Check.
I think a C-bet would have worked there.
4 of hearts on the turn.
Freddie's got a hand that doesn't flop so well, so I'm not sure what he was expecting.
Pantling will now lead for 40,000.
The old overbet bluff with the best hand. Weird.
And Freddie will fold.
Oh, so I guess for Freddie it was one of those rare single-barrel bluffs.
Well, Freddie Deeb nearly made the final table of this tournament back in Season 4.
You speak English?
Just a little bit.
You have a flight to catch? It's the first hand, man. The 2 5s. Might be lying, too. Just please make sure you don't hit me with the chips.
Your hands weren't out there, were they?
I'm just gonna. I mean, the table is so big that you have to throw them.
Oh.
Jon Snow.
You might accidentally throw it in my face.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
It most certainly wouldn't be an accident. Nah, I'm just kidding. Freddie's a good guy. Everybody loves Freddie.
Over to the secondary feature table. Leo Fernandez has raised with ace-queen. Actions on David Van Plu with pocket 5s.
On.
Van Plu shoves.
It's only for about 15 bigs, so he's going to get looked up in at least one spot.
Action folded back around to Fernandez. Who calls?
These two are racing. Like touchscreens versus QWERTY keyboards, one of these two has a slight mathematical advantage.
Vamplu's fives, marginal favourite with 5 cards to come. Ace on the flop, but there are 3 spades out there. Vamplu has the 5 of spades in his hand. 11 outs, and that's one of them. Fernandez gets flushed by Vamps.
Double up, double up.
What was that?
Vamplu's inner monologue.
On the outer tables, Jason Mercier has bet 11,200 on the turn. Decision on Kirill Teleshkin.
This board is wetter than London in April and May and most of June.
Nice to see Jason taking a break from open-faced Chinese to actually play a hand of Hold'em. Teleshkin calls. Heads up to the river. 5 of clubs.
Not the most obvious draw came in, but a wheel did complete.
Teleshkin checks. Mercier bets 23,600. Teleshkin looks back at his hand and folds.
Yeah, Mercier really wanted to fold there, not because he didn't have the best hand, but because it's less chips for in the stack and he can get back to open-face Chinese faster.
Jason has been steadily increasing his stack throughout the day.
He's good at tip pokers.
We're heading back to the featured table. Blinds are up to 1,200, 2,400 with a 300 ante, and we are going to sweat with Freddie Deeb. We're going to play the hand from Freddie's perspective. There's an early position raise from Andrew Pantling. He's made it 5,000 to go. Freddie's got 4-5 suited.
And with his stack, we should be seeing flops with hands like this for 1 bet all day.
Matthias Milhausen looks interested.
We actually don't mind this flop going multi-way.
Milhausen qualified online to play the grand final.
Oh, that's nice.
The Dutchman calls as well. Slade Fisher in the small blind will fold, but Gabriel Trento in the big blind will call.
Yeah, and like I said, we don't mind this going multiple ways. Just more chips in the pot for us to win if we do hit our hand.
4-way to the flop. Which is 4 trade deuce. Freddie with top pair and a straight draw.
This is an awesome flop for us.
Action's been checked to the razor. And Pantling will continue into 3 opponents. 14,000.
That is a big C-bet. No way we're folding, though. From what I've seen from Pantling so far, we might have the best hand.
Freddie calls, but no one else does, so we're going heads up to the turn. 7 of hearts.
Doesn't help us, but it shouldn't hurt us too much either.
Pantling now checks.
Check.
Totally fine with us taking a free card here.
The board pairs with the 7 of clubs on the river. Pantling bets small, 17,000.
Yeah, this is only 3K more than he made it on the flop, and even though this bet sizing would typically look pretty value-y, I really don't see him checking the turn with anything that has us beat here. I think this is a call.
He's got plenty of chips. He can certainly afford it. Freddie gives it up.
I think that may have been a mistake.
It was a mistake. King 10 the hand for Pantling.
Yep, total airball for Andrew. Luckily, he was up against the one guy at the table who'd fold there. You know what kind of shirt Freddie's wearing? The Deeb V.
Let you bluff one. Maybe you let me bluff one later.
Maybe.
Andrew Pantling now playing more than 213,000. On to the next hand. Action folded to Annette Oberstad. Queen 8.
Not a stellar hand.
Nice.
Raises to 5,000.
Annette looking for an early steal here.
Action on Kurganov. Pocket jacks.
2 jacks and the hijack. I think that makes him passenger 57 because he's about to always bet on black.
Kurganov. Re-raising. A 3-bet to 12,000. Andrew Chen in the small blind. Ace 7.
Looks like he might be tempted to re-raise knowing how aggressive both these players are.
Nah, he gives it up. Andrew Pantling folds the big blind. And Annette quickly mucks. So 11,000 extra chips for the high roller specialist who keeps good company both on the tournament circuit and at home.
I am Igor Kurganov. I'm 25 years old and I live in London. We live in one apartment complex with Tobias Reinkemeyer, Fabian Kvoes, which is kind of the perfect situation to have your own flat, but at the same time have your friends close by. And Philipp Kruyssem and Niklas Heinecker sometimes pop by as well. It definitely helps to have friends who are really good at poker because we're all like bringing each other to the next level all the time. We mostly play high roller tournaments, I guess, which kind of makes it easier to be good at them because it's not that big a field in high rollers normally, so it's easier to win one than to win a main event. Last year, heads up against Daniel Negreanu, I won the 25K. Yeah! With that, I actually got to defend the title of Tobias Reinkemeyer, who won it 2 years ago, so I hope that we can keep it in the family. We're actually always very happy for each other when some good results happen. At the same time, though, when I meet them at the table, then it is actually really on.
A year ago, I didn't know who Igor Kurganov was. Now he's more of a permanent fixture in the high rollers and our giant LED screen. Bad news for Igor. Say goodbye to your friend Tobias. Don't worry, only 75 more Germans left in the field.
Action on the secondary feature table, a battle of the Brits, a battle of two EPT champions. Van Ploeg's raised the button. Cody's got 8-3 in the big blind, but he's re-raising.
On.
Van Ploeg shoves.
Whoops.
And Jake will fold.
Yeah, his button range isn't that wide, Jake. Not that wide.
David Van Ploeg up to 74,000 in chips.
Oh, they shared a moment. Did you see that?
Out in the field, the defending grand final champion is at risk and behind.
9 ball.
He needs a 9. Doesn't hit.
Time for Mosen to Gosen. Not that this helps, but he didn't really expect to win it 2 years in a row, did he? And hey, Michael Jordan didn't win his first championship until he was 28. Mosen's got a whole year on that.
Find out how you can get live updates during the European Poker Tour by going to PokerStars.com. Welcome back to the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. We've lost half of the 268 players that began day 2. John Joanda dashed Mosen Sharania's hopes of becoming the first 2-time champ.
It's hard to put it into words, but I hope this event isn't the event where you get a second one, because I would like to try. But a lot of the ones that are still in the field are very capable of winning again, so I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Ivy.
He hasn't won an EPT and he's already out of the grand final.
So you'll bet me then?
Well, that's stupid.
That's what I thought.
Action on Andrew Pantling, who's been pretty active since he took a seat at our feature table. Raising to 5,000 with King 8 suited, Annette Oberstad with Ace-Jack on the button.
Now, we've had the benefit of seeing Andrew's hands. Annette hasn't. Let's see if she 3-bets him or just plays this in position.
She just calls. Matthias Mulhausen in the small blind will fold. Igor Kurganov in the big blind will also pass.
Now, I think if Annette had been seeing how light he's been raising, she would have 3-bet there.
Heads up to the flop, which is king high, top pair for Pantling.
This time his air actually connects.
And he continues for 9,000.
With a backdoor flush draw and a gut shot to the nuts straight, Annette's probably going to peel here and hope to catch something on the turn.
She calls. So 9,000 apiece. 34,000 in the middle. The turn card is the 9 of spades. Annette picks up a flush draw.
Yeah, that's a pretty good card for Annette.
Pantling slows down, he checks.
This is a really scary card and board for tons of hands in Andrew's range, and since it's unlikely he'll check raise here, Annette is betting.
24,000.
And then I'd watch for her to maybe bomb the river on a scare card.
Pantling calls. Now 82,000 in the middle, Annette with less than a pot-sized bet behind. The river card is a blank, deuce of hearts.
Yeah, that is not a scare card at all.
Pantling checks again.
If she does bomb, he could hero, but it's a tough call with just one pair when the board's so coordinated.
Come on.
She shoves.
I think this bluff is mostly gonna work. He's getting a little worse than 3-1, which is close, but he's gonna need more than odds if he's gonna make this call. He's gonna need a read.
He's counted out the call.
Annette giving nothing away.
He makes the call.
Nice hit.
Sweet sassy Mo Lassie. He picked that bluff off like a hair on a cheeseburger.
Good call.
Thank you.
And Annette is out.
Gotta give Annette credit for even being able to make a play like that. And credit for a very not awkward exit, which is, trust me, way harder.
Paddling up to nearly 300,000. And with Annette Oberstadt's elimination, only 2 ladies remain in the tournament. Fiona Acerbi.
Who dat? Interesting.
And Team Online's Tatiana Barosova.
Yes, her I know. I saw her doing a photo shoot in the lobby of our hotel, and I did not linger at all.
Cool. EPT Barcelona finalist Anna Lekbarovas has just caught a river bet from Daniel Negreanu, who caught runner to make a flush.
Everything's funner when you go runner.
I was only kidding.
Good spot for you.
Yeah, 3 flush, 3 straight.
Must be nice, Daniel. Must be nice.
At the secondary feature table, Tom Marchese has moved all in. Action is on Leo Fernandez.
Fernandez is slow rolling a bit, but it's actually acceptable here because he's trying to induce action behind.
He just calls with his kings.
Really hoping somebody jams after him.
Will Patrick Nikesh oblige? The Frenchman says no. Vamps is out. Isla on the button. He folds. But Jake Cody's got ace-king.
That flat call may look eerily weak, but Jake's not folding this. Looks like Leo's gonna get his wish.
There's the re-raise from Jake, a 3-bet to 16,500. Fernandez moves all in, and Jake calls.
Cody's got everyone covered.
But Fernandez has the best hand. And it's still good post-flop, an 80% favorite. Marchese drawing very thin. An ace on the turn!
Ew.
It's okay, sir.
And a double elimination. Marchese out, Fernandez out. Lots of chips for Cody. Jake now playing 240,000. Not such good news for fellow team pro Luca Pagano. He's busto.
Poor Luca. This whole tournament's been a struggle for him. He's finally been put out of his misery.
Life faring better for Jason Mercier, who's on the verge of busting a player. With just 1 card to come. Mercier's ace-king holds. And he will add 43,000 chips to his stack.
Bit of a cooler for Kosa, but it's always nice when the best hand holds up. Unfortunately, it's time for Kosa to Gosa. And Jason Mercier's been absolutely mashing today.
Both at the Hold'em tables and online in his open-faced Chinese games.
My 2013 has gone very well. I just won the open face tournament here. The 3rd high stakes one that's ever been run. It was pretty awesome. It's the only poker variant that I know of where you get to see every person's move on every single street.
I get 4 for this, 5 for that is 9, plus the scoop, 15. It's 15 and 15. 15 and 15.
You get the first 5 cards down, and then your next 8 cards you get 1 at a time. You're not reading what players are doing because you'll see it.
No queens. Can't scoop them.
The game is very interesting because you can play against the best players and just see how they play. I definitely think I'm the best player in the world. Sean Deeb is probably the 2nd best open face player in the world.
We got someone deuces in the back and 3s up front right now. You like his chances?
He's actually the only person in the world that I don't play against heads up because he's just too tilting because he runs so good. I've been playing open face throughout the entire main event. I have about 40 games running right now and using 2 devices at once so that I can get as many hands in as possible.
I've never seen someone go through that much Chinese outside of an all-you-can-eat buffet. What? It only fills you up for like an hour. Attaboy, Jonathan. Harness in the good energy, block out the bad. Harness, energy, block, bad. It's like a carousel. You put the quarter in, you get on the horse. It goes up and down and around. Circular, circle, feel it. Go with the flow.
Well, Calvin Anderson's involved in a hand against another Norwegian player, Carl Andre Oddsen. Anderson betting the flop, 4,500, quickly called by Oddsen. Two of hearts on the turn, pairing the board. Anderson bets again, 10,500.
More of the same from this guy. Anderson's pretty much only got one gear. I like to call it Soul Eater.
Oddsen calls. The river card is the 10 of spades. The board now double paired.
That card significantly changes the board texture.
Doesn't look like Anderson is slowing down.
The Soul Eater doesn't slow down.
He empties the clip, betting 28,800 on the river.
So an ace may no longer be any good, nor a deuce.
Oddsen thinking it over, and he decides to fold.
Souls, yes. Ship me my souls, said the Soul Eater.
Anderson, an online qualifier, has been very active today and is our new tournament chip leader, ahead of former EPT runner-up Steve O'Dwyer. Freddie Deeb has dropped down to 6th. He's involved in a hand on our feature table. He's raised with ace-6. Action on Andrew Chen in the small blind with ace-jack.
Chen may 3-bet sometimes here against some players from some positions, but probably not Freddie from early.
He just calls. Andrew Pantling calls as well with 5-3 offsuit.
He was getting better than 4-1, so yeah, I guess it's all right.
Ace-7-5.
Everyone catches a piece. Freddie in a weird spot now with a bad ace.
Chen checks. Pantling checks. Freddie continues for 10,000.
That's with TPGK, top pair garbage kicker.
Chen calls, and Pantling gets out of the way.
Surprising considering he hit a pair and he's still getting 4-1.
Heads up to the turn. The 5 of clubs.
Oof, Pantling, brutal.
It goes check, check. A queen on the river. They're both playing aces and 5s with a queen kicker.
So they are due for a chop unless someone goes for a bluff here.
Chen has checked. The Deeb bets 35,000.
Really big river bet, trying to bluff Andrew off this exact hand.
There's the sigh call from Chen.
Ace.
Freddie didn't really play it like he had a 5 or better than ace-jack, so chop it up.
Yeah, they'll carve up Pantling's donation, 3,900 each. This might not look very exciting if you're new to poker, but you know what they say, Joe? Everyone loves a chop putt.
Chop putt.
Welcome back to the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. Players have been going hard or going home. In one hand, Jake Cody sent both Tom Marchese and Leo Fernandez to the rail, and at our feature table, Annette Oberstad's gutsy all-in river bluff was called by Andrew Pantling, ending her hopes of a deep run.
It's so rare that I shove with a bluff on the river. You know, it doesn't always work.
Classy response from Annette. I would say his call was terrible. Go home, lift weights, come back, burn the place down.
So we're coming to the end of the final level of day 2. Action's on Freddie Deeb at our feature table, and he just calls with ace-king.
James, I'm sorry, but it sounded like you said Freddie Deeb just limped with ace-king. To be fair, if you're limping here, you need to limp with ace-king sometimes. On the flip side, you should never be limping here.
Igor Kurganov has pocket 3s on the button.
Wow, Freddie may get the action he's looking for.
Kurganov raises 45,000. That's a virtual all-in.
Yeah, that's 2/3 of his stack. And either Slade Fisher's got a decision, or no, he was just thinking about a face-melting guitar solo.
Action back on Deeb.
How much total you have?
I think 70, but like 67. 66.9.
Obviously, Igor ain't folding to a shove.
I call.
Well, that's weird.
I'm not sure why he just called, but hey, man, guy's a 50K horse champion. What have I ever done?
I don't think Kurganov was expecting to go to the flop here.
I'm getting tired, I guess. Here, I bet in the dark, I guess.
Well, Freddie bets enough before a flop's even dealt to put Kurganov all in.
It was probably going in anyway.
And it's a good flop for Freddie. He pairs his ace.
Kurganov is getting a ridiculous price to stick it in.
It's interesting. Did you hit it?
Now we know Igor can make live reads.
I give you some information. Coming in, I thought I raised it.
Oh.
Really?
I didn't realize it, right? Then you put so much money in, and I said, how much you got total?
Right.
And then I said, I call. I didn't even, I'm getting tired now.
Some information, that's all the information.
It's insane.
Anyway, regardless, it's your decision, man.
Yeah. I think it's pretty clear what I have.
I don't know what you have. I bet in the dark.
Why didn't I just put
you
it
have
all?
2 4s or 2 7s?
It's pretty close.
Huh?
It's pretty close to that.
Yeah?
So it is just king queen, right? King jack, suited.
I might raise it 200,000 with king queen, but I'm not gonna call 45,000.
You never planned on calling 45,000, so it doesn't necessarily say something about king queen.
Well, we got 20 more minutes. Think about it.
You know, I want to get into day 2. Maybe I want to wait 22 and then keep this.
Why
No,
not?
It's not the plan.
Why not?
It seems though as if you want me to kind of like go out of it.
You what?
As if you want me to do this. I don't know.
You can do either one for me.
Yeah,
it's
it's not
fine.
like you care much about these 24.
Huh?
These 24 don't change that much.
It does change. I like to get him. Go ahead, put him in the pot.
Okay, yeah, there's all the information.
Put him in the pot. 25,000 is 25,000.
Now you're convincing me even more that you don't have it.
What?
Now you're convincing me.
I mean, this
even
table
more
has
that
been
you
so
don't
boring for the last 2 hours.
I agree, then let's
They finally
continue
get some
talking about
attraction
it.
going on here. And instead of just poker, you know what I mean? Ha ha ha. Ah. Well, you're just gonna sit here. Don't take your money out of the rack because it's gonna take 20 minutes for this decision here.
All right. That was an all-star play by me for sure.
Kurganov folds.
You might have the best hand.
I know, I
No?
might have, but I don't think.
I think it's very unlikely. Very unlikely.
I
It's possible.
had 3s.
Well, you guys will see it on TV
I
anyway.
feel you have 8s. No, they're not going to show it.
What do you mean they're not gonna? Not now.
Show me one.
They're gonna show it on the TV in the future, right?
No, but they
show it in
don't show the
future,
whole
right?
cards.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So I'll mock it. It'll be
They're
more
not gonna
interesting.
show.
And then I'll tell you what I had, and you tell me how bad I'm lying. And then we'll keep talking about it till you see it on TV. It's more exciting that way.
1 to 4.7 or something. It's so sick.
Okay, now I can tell you what I had. I had ace king.
Ace king?
Yeah. You believe me?
I don't, actually.
I'm just telling you, I fell asleep there for a minute in the middle of the hand.
Freddie does not have the patience for the type of player he likes to call a loser nerd.
Well, we are coming to the end of the day. Some folks is tired. At the secondary feature table, David Van Plu has just 3-bet Christopher Frank. And I think we know where this is going.
Yeah, let's just skip to the part where all the chips go in.
Frank responds with a 4-bet.
All in.
Van Plu shoves.
6-1 raise on it.
Frank calls.
6-6.
Good luck, David.
Oh, that's adorable. Good luck to you.
Let's have 5 community cards, please, dealer. Van Plu is the player at risk. He's the player who needs to hit. And hit he does. Ace on the flop.
Rookie mistake wishing the other guy luck. At least he's not covered.
Frank needs a queen on the river. Doesn't hit it. A double up for Van Plu.
Regular sweat. Unlucky.
A maudlin Christopher Frank.
There's no karma in poker.
Vamp's now playing nearly 145,000. Meanwhile, Daniel Negreanu has just been given a new seat assignment.
Excuse me, son.
Bro, what are you gonna wait all day?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Taking a walk?
Yeah, I came around here like 15 minutes ago. Just waited. Just went to the restaurant, had a beer. Hey. Okay, how you guys doing?
Good.
Well, the tournament clock has been paused.
Finish the hand and play out the 4 last hands on the night.
Teresa, the tournament director, confirming that 4 more hands will be played at each table.
This is always a fun time in the night. Some players will use it as an excuse to fold their way to day 3. Other players will use it as an excuse to rob those first players blind. Meh, the difference between aggressive and spewy is just a matter of who has the best hand at showdown.
Anaras Alekbarovas is all in, and Johnny Lodden has called. Alekbarovas has 4s, Johnny has queens.
Well, this isn't a race at all. Johnny Lodden, a big favorite.
An even bigger favorite now. Alekbarovas needs a 4 on the river. No help, so he is sent to the rail. And Johnny Lodden now has a monster stack.
Look at you, Jonathan Lodden. You are crushing at life right now.
He's currently playing nearly 630,000. Back to the feature table. Igor Kurganov all in with ace-9. Andrew Pantling calls with 9s on the button.
Dotson, we got Dotson. We lost Dotson.
He folds.
Fold, right, Freddie?
Yeah, I can't give you any action.
Yeah, I just have to run to the restaurant real quick. This is why I'm here.
Boom.
An ace on the flop. And Pantling only has 1 out.
Gulp.
Pantling looking for the 9 of clubs. It's the Jack of diamonds. Kurganov doubles up. Still a short stack, though.
Yeah, it goes from 10 big blinds to 20 big blinds, but it looks like he'll be back tomorrow.
Yep, that'll do it for day 2 of the EPT Grand Final.
107 left, 80 paid. That means bubble tomorrow.
Exciting.
David Van Plu with 116K. He is in tomorrow. Jake Cody bagging up 223K and a lot of air. And the whole gang from the feature table will be back tomorrow, including Freddie Deeb with his 350K.
Yes, Freddie is one of the tournament big stacks, but it's Johnny Lodden who'll come into day 3 as chip leader, with Calvin Anderson second on the leaderboard. Jason Mercier is also up there in the top 10, as is Kid Poker, Daniel Negreanu.
Long way to go to get to the win, but I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. My plan is simple. My plan is to have fun, and if I'm not having fun, that's a problem. So I'll create fun. If nobody else is having fun, I'll slap them around and make them have fun.
Next time, the big stacks turn up the heat on the rest of the field as the money bubble approaches.
With defending.
Normally I would reach for blue, but with 4 places on the money.
I try to raise every single hand folded to me.
All in.
It really intimidates a lot of people.
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Unbelievable, ridiculous dress code. Can't believe this guy won't let us in.
I can. Look at the way you are dressed.
I'm wearing a tuxedo.
Which is ill-fitting.
I have a bow tie. I have nice shoes on.
With white socks.
Yeah, some people are impossible to impress. You know what? I have an idea.
Are you gonna try bribing him?
That's an even better idea.
Good luck with that.
German! Bobby!